Good evening, Romany Rye. And when I was growing up, it was a special treat to go up to 5 Lanes horse sale. Used to have colts up there and straight off the moors, wild as fuck. But we used to buy them and bring them home, break them a bit and sell them. So, just up the road from where I lived was the football field. And a man called Mr. Gould owned the football field, Reg Gould. And his wife was called Sheila. And she was a very well-respected judge. She used to go to crofts and all sorts, judging dogs. So, at the time, my father was in partners with Mickey Burris. And Mickey loved me mother. And he was always mesmerised by what he thought was her mystical powers. And by this time, our family was well respected within the village. Because it was, in truthfulness, it was, I suppose, the ones I can remember. Don't forget, I was only a boy, but the ones I can remember was my father, his brother, Uncle Tommy, Willie Webster, Mickey Burris, Trevor Burris, Terry Shadef, Billy Chowan. All they boys made Carrick Football Club what it was. Even the sports club, because we used to have a institute up there where you could go and play snooker. But eventually everybody got together and got the village social club. That was connected to the football team. Anyway, that's going off my story. But my father was, and the family was very well respected. Because in their days, when you had a butcher would come around every other day or whatever it was, a baker, the coal man, fizzy pot man, Corona man, used to come round. You see all these people in a week. Anyway, my father was in partners with this man called Mickey Burris. And he wanted to be a dealer man. So my father tried to teach him how to call, see. But Mickey could never get the hack of it. But my father loved him really, and they stayed together. And in the end, I think he said something like he wasn't making enough money, so he had to leave. He had to go and sort himself out of the job. Anyway, on this particular occasion, Mr. Gould owned a football field. So he said to my father this day, he said, "Brian, we're giving up the bullocks and the cows." He said, "We're not going to farm anymore." He said, "But me and Sheila thought it would be nice to have 3 or 4 horses as pets, or 4 or 5 horses as pets." So he said, "Could you get us some?" My father said, "Look, Mr. Gould, I can get them." He said, "But they won't be as quiet as our horses here. These horses, these ponies," he said, "come straight off the moors. They're wild. They go over edge after edge," he said, "if you don't keep them in right." Well, he said, "That's right, Brian," he said. "Don't worry about that." He said, "We'll keep them in the farmyard. He said, "I've got plenty of hay there. I'll feed them hay, and they'll come a bit quiet then. They'll get to know us." My father said, "That's right with me, Mr. Gould." He said, "No problem." Anyway, we was excited because we had horses sold before we even got to 5 Lanes. So income isn't a lot. I think my father and Mickey give 15 quid a piece for them. My father knew he was having 75 bar a piece for these horses when he got them home. It was either 4 or 5 he bought, I can't remember. Anyway, they was in the pen And like it was back then, he was going wild, see? So we guided him down through the pens to the end pen, where you could drop the ramp of your lorry, and they would go straight up the ramp. So that's what we done. Loaded them up in the box. Me, Mickey Burrows, and me dad. We're coming home now. Mickey said, we stop in Land of It. He said, get some chips. We always used to do that anyway. Anyway, got the chips. Well, time he gets back to Mr. Gould now, it's dark. So drives up his lane, gets up to his house, knocks on his door. Mickey said, got these horses here, Mr. Gould? Oh, yeah. He said, what are we going to do with them? He said, hang on, I'll put my boots on and I'll come out and have a look. Out he comes with a torch. And there's like a calf box door on the front. So he opened the door, shone the torch in. Oh, he said, they're lovely, they'll do their job, he said. So my father said, you do realise, Mr. Gould, that these are wild, don't you? He said, that's what the agreement was. Certainly, Brian, he said, that's what you told me. He said, what we'll do is, he said, you turn around up. He said, and we'll offload them in that pen over there. And we'll feed them up before they can go in the barn there, or they can go out in the pen. He said, we'll feed them up and get them quiet. All right, my father said. Half saving to himself, because the gates and that Mr. Gould had there was rotted out. The horses leant against him and pushed them down. Anyway, unloaded these horses, these mares. So he said, come in, Brian, come in, I'll pay you up. And Mickey was rubbing his hands now, but he was on a good profit, see, with me dad. I think there's 15 quid a piece, and they was going to have 75 quid a piece from. So they was on a fair bit of money back then. So he said, so dropped the ramp down, unloaded them. They was in the pen, running up and down, ragged. So Mr. Gould threw a bit of hay in there. They had a water trough. So my dad said, you want to be careful, Mr. Gould, he said, because if they break out, they'll just keep running. Oh, that's right, Brian. He said, we got them now. He said, Sheila, bring they quiet. So, goes in, sits down, pays me father out. Mickey's rubbing his hands and laughing at me father. He's always grinning. So, pulls out of there. It must have been about a week or 10 days went by. Mr. Gould pulled in the yard. He said, Brian, I know you dropped those mares off, he said, because I seen them with my own eyes. He said, but the next morning they was gone. He said, what do you mean, Red's gone? He said, they broke the gates down and they're gone. We can't find them. He said, I've been on the police. Everybody, he said, they're just vanished. My father said, I did tell you, Reg, he said, you've been better off putting them in closed pen where they could have stayed in there and you could. Yeah, he said, I know, but we never thought they was going to be this wild. Anyway, finally finds the fucking horses up at 4 lanes, about 3 or 4 mile away, running on the old downs ground up there and in and out people's fields. Anyway, he says to my father, he said, Brian, can you go and get these horses back for me, these ponies? So he said, yeah. So we eventually got them in a lane where they couldn't go nowhere. Dropped the ramp down, loaded them in again, took them back to Mr. Gould. Oh, he said, that's lovely. But he kept them. He kept them for, a good 4 or 5 years. In the end, he was pets, like, it was quiet. But old Mickey was laughing then because he had his bit of money. And he was a card. Mr. Gould was happy. But they was the good old days, going up to that horse market, seeing everybody up there. All the boys from down Redroof would go head up to that market and buy the horses to sell them on again. And my Uncle Harry bought a fucking donkey up there one day. And supposed to be all driving, see? Brings this donkey home. Fucking great big black donkey. Puts harness on him. And he drives him up and down the yard. He was alright. So he said to my granny, he said, I'm going to go up to the pub and have a pint. She said, what with that? He said, yeah. So I said, can I come? No, he said, you can't come to the fucking pub. He said, your mother will kill me. My grandfather heard and see. Take him for a ride, he said, up the road. He said, you always fucking spoils it for me. There's no Gary to me, see. He said, you always fucking shouting and hollering, see. So I get snort. So I jumps off the cart. I said, fuck you on the donkey. I said, I'm not coming now. Well, as I jumped off, he was a trash, because he knew how to walk home, see. And if a car hit me or something like that, there would have been murders up. So he's hollering and shouting at me now to get back up on the shay. Now, we always used to ride on these shays with our feet hanging over the side. What happened? This is true what happened. He was shouting and hollering at me to get back on the fucking shay. The donkey must have thought that he was shouting at the donkey, and his bit of foot went in through this, because he was like going really slow. His bit of foot went right in the wheel and jammed in. Now the donkey been took off. Now this wheel on this side is screeching up, going up the road, see, and the more it's making the noise, the faster the donkey's going. He took off, I took off running to go home. Oh, when he come back, his bit of foot was all rubbed up raw. He said, that fucking little bastard, he said, you always trying to fucking get me in trouble. That's what Gary used to say about me. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Me and he had some fun, though. Yeah. Yeah, they was good old days. I was coming home on a school bus one day. And just up the road from us and down a lane was the Bengalis. Now, the Bengalis was a bit like our lot, like, a bit travellers. They weren't travellers like Gorgies, but going to school, nobody wanted to sit beside you, see. That's what it was like in these days. They was all afraid you had juice, or you was smelly, or whatever it was, see. So back when I was going to school, you used to have to you had a job to carry in a crate of milk, two of you, one each side. Because back then you had a little bottle of milk like that when you went to school. So me and Kenny was always paired up because we lived near each other, see. So Kenny was going on, but he couldn't ride a two-wheeler bike. I tried to get him to ride a two-wheeler bike. He couldn't ride. He'd go 2 feet and fall off. But he was a worker. Now, his father was called John Bengali, one-armed bandit. Now, he was the local battery breaker for all the scrapyards along that road. So you had my grandfather's, you had Malcolm Drew's, Johnny Orchard's up the top. The man broke hundreds of tons of batteries, because back then, you used to break the batteries, break the casings off, and all you had was lead. So you go to the local farmer, and he had manure bags, plastic bags. We used to bag it up. Well, back then, we used to put sand and all in with the lead, because it was all funny colours and mangled up. Anyway, John Bengali would break 5 or 6 ton of batteries a day with one arm, because that's all he had. His nickname was One-Armed Bandit. Good worker though, but a fucking funny old mush, because oh my God, you'd have to see it to believe it. He'd be breaking batteries all day long, covered in battery acid, everywhere. And then once say you had 3 ton of batteries there, he'd break them. But once he broke that 3 ton of batteries, he'd always come to you for a drop of whiskey or whatever it was and sit down and have a chat, see? But once he had that whiskey back, he was a funny old fucker. Yeah, he used to have a walking stick. He'd go up the local kitchen there and pick a fight with somebody up there, or they would he, and he'd tell him with that walking stick, boy. He'd knock many of them out. Anyway, his boy Kenny, that's what I'm on about. Kenny decided he was going to be a woodman. So he got enough money together, working, God straight me dead, working, pushing fucking bags of logs with a wheelbarrow. That's no shit. And a dandy, pulling it up there. Anyway, got enough money together for his fucking push bike. So he bought himself a freewheeler, like a gal's bike. But on the freewheeler, he had a little trailer on the back. It takes some believing. But that boy worked. He never went, like when we bought, like me, I would go up the village on my bike or whatever. But not he. He never went out nowhere. Anyway, takes some believing. We was coming home from school one day on the bus, and they lived in a bit of a bungalow shack, but they never went in the front room. They always was in the kitchen. I think they might have slept in the front room and off in the bedrooms, but never went in there. Never spent no time in there. So I was coming home from school one day, got to within, I suppose, 100 yards of the bus stop. Kenny started shouting, stop the bus, I got to get off. I said, what's the matter, Kenny? He said, I'll see ya. Anyway, he noticed it. But his mother, for some reason, lit the fire in the front room. And because all the brothers and sisters was always choring each other's stuff, he had his bit of level up under the fucking chimney in the front room. Never told nobody he put it there. Give that fella his due. And I hope to see people that can tell you the same story. He siffed £900. Now that's a lot of money. And his mother burnt a lot. He sat there and cried. Poor fucker. Next morning he was crying when he was up at the bus stop. I said, what's the matter, Ken? Mother burnt all me money, it's all gone. I said, what do you mean? I said, where did you put it? He said, up in the chimney pot. Burnt a lot. Every penny he had. And he siffed that money, look, from selling bags of wood like for £0.50, 75 pence, £1 a bag, £2 a bag. He saved that money, look. Yeah. He used to get a load of wood delivered once he got on his feet. With a lorry, somebody who, I don't know who you'd buy him off. You'd have a load of wood delivered, look, and he'd go in there, split it, and sell it. But the poor fucker, all his money went. They was always afraid about each other if they knew. They was hide their bits of hunger all over the place. Yeah, poor old Kenny, that. Fucking poor old fucker, all his level went up in smoke. Couldn't believe it. Yeah. But there was good times back then. With the horses and that. That was the fun times. Another time, we brought some colts back from 5 Lanes. And this when my mother was a bit more weather again. Well, this is what happened with 2 bastards. Uncle Samson and Harry. There was 4 colts in my father's corral beside the shanty. Now, the colts wasn't no size to them. They just wanted to have fun, see? So they go in and scruff them, put their arms around their necks, and they take off up the fences and whatever. Put the holders on them. So they thought they'd have a bit of fun with me, didn't they? This is true, go straight me dead. So, in one side of the corral, all my mother's blackberry bushes was growing, see? And she'd never cut them back because she'd pick her blackberries off them. But it was encroaching in on the corral. So Samson and Harry thought they'd have a bit of fun. Because I wanted to be doing what they was doing, see? But as I said to you before, I was too young to be with the older ones. So they put me on the back of this colt, didn't they? And let me go. Now the colt when it took off and took me up under the edge. Now I'm screaming murders now. Out comes my mother, she'd been a dick, what they've been done to Mandy. I was prickles and blood all over me. She picked up the broom handle. She beat the two of them. She said, "You hurt my boy, you bastards." Beat the two of them. But that's what they done. They was in there having a good old laugh. Yeah, I went right up under the bushes. But they pony days off the moors, it was good fun. Good fun. Everybody had them. There was only like 5 and 6 quid touches. 7 and 8 quid. Some of them £2. But if you brought them home, older broke them, and made them a bit tame, so you'd make 7 or 8 quid of them. I know that don't seem a lot of money, but back then it was a lot of money, believe me. Yeah. Uncle Samson and Uncle Larry done that to me. The bastards. But my grandfather and Uncle Larry, well, he couldn't move from Andy. I'd only have to say, "Can I go with Uncle Harry?" If he was going somewhere. He said, "You can't come with me. Fuck off, you can't come with me." "Take it, Harry, if you're not taking the car." Yeah, that's what my grandfather used to say. Oh, and then he'd give me fuck when he got in the car with me. But there you go, there's a couple of more stories about me growing up and the fun I had back then and things we did do. You know, there's funny things. So anyway, I'll say good night now from the Romany Rye, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm definitely going to put up all the photographs and talk you through them all, from all the photographs I got here. So you'll be able to see the things I've been telling you. So now it's goodbye from the Romany Rye. Tomorrow night I'm putting the photographs up. I'm still waiting for somebody to come and help me edit my video with Uncle Fred, so I can sort it out. That one I'll be going up to. So bye-bye from the Romany Rye.